I have my FlyBear SBACH 342 sport plane out here this morning, and it's been a long time coming, but I did finally put some carbon reinforcement in the nose of this aircraft because that is definitely the weak spot. And I know some of you have posted that you have lost the nose on yours, or it is the motor mount has come out with some foam attached maybe, but definitely the weak spot. So I did install, you can see it on camera, I did install a couple of links of carbon slats, 1 millimeter thick by 5 millimeter wide by about, I would say the links are about 100 millimeters in length. And I ran it all the way out to the corners of the nose, so that should be plenty rigid. Alright, launching. Whoa, how about that power? This plane is awesome. Can you believe that's a sub 250 gram plane? Look at that rotate. Those hammerheads. This is probably one of the easiest planes to perform hammerheads with that I've ever had in the air. This plane is just awesome. Immelmans, split S maneuvers, rolls. I know you guys have heard this before, but one of the reasons I like these planes that have a lot of power is not to fly fast, but because it doesn't require speed to perform maneuvers. And I think that makes a plane very graceful when it has enough power that you don't have to use speed to perform maneuvers. Isn't that stable? It just flies like a much bigger plane. It really kind of reminds me of the way it handles and its presence in the air, how stable it is. It really reminds me of my much larger Volantex Sabre sport plane. Look at that. That is awesome. That is awesome, guys. If you've never flown a sport plane, I think you'd love it. Or even if you have, I think you would love this plane. And I think for what it sells for, I think it's a steal for what you get. Alright, let's bring it in. It's a puddle jumper today. We got a lot of rain last night. Check that out. God, that's so nice. Such a nice plane. Alright, links to it will be in the show notes. I think that's a pretty good demonstration of this plane and the power it has and the amount of flight time. I mean, I had my timer set for 6 minutes. I landed just about on the mark with my 6-minute timer, and I'll bet you we can check it, but I certainly wasn't easy on it, right? And I'll bet you I still got about 3.8 volts in the cells. We'll check real quick and see. They just checked all the boxes on this one. What'd I say? 3.82, 3.82. It's got that kind of power on a 2S LiPo. I had my timer set for 6 minutes, so even pushing it hard like I was, I'm probably going to get about 9 minutes flight time, leaving 3.6 volts per cell. How awesome is that? It's not easy to get that kind of power and that kind of flight time, you know, that kind of efficiency out of a power system. But they did it. It's absolutely awesome. Alright, like I said, links to it will be in the show notes. That's a wrap on this episode. I'll see you next time in the Tinkerz Lab.